Can you believe that in the middle of what seems like a relaxing weekend getaway, a simple visit to your girlfriend's parents' house could turn into a nightmare so twisted, you'd never look at suburban life the same way again? That's exactly what happens in Get Out, a horror thriller that doesn't just mess with your head. It messes with everything you think you know about race, power, and what happens when the worst intentions are hidden under a smile. This is not your typical bump in the night scare. Oh no! This is a movie that makes you uncomfortably aware of how bizarre the world can get when you least expect it. Trust me, after this one, you'll be looking over your shoulder every time someone invites you over for dinner. Let me break it down for you. We've got Chris, the main character, played by Kaluuya, a guy who's just trying to have a peaceful weekend at his girlfriend's, Rose, family's home. Pretty standard, right? They live out in the middle of nowhere, which already should be raising some serious red flags. I mean, who in their right mind heads off to a remote family estate to meet people they've never even heard of? But hey, love is blind. So Chris takes the leap, trusting Rose when she says, "Don't worry, my parents are cool. You're gonna love them." Spoiler alert, she's lying. Now, right off the bat, things feel off. Chris is the only black guy in sight, and the way Rose's parents, played by Catherine Keener and Bradley Whitford, are behaving, well, it's just weird. They're all smiles, but those smiles don't quite reach the eyes. But hey, Chris is trying to be chill because, don't want to rock the boat. Classic mistake. Classic. But the longer he stays, the weirder it gets. Have you ever walked into a room and felt like everyone knew something you didn't? That's the vibe here. But Chris is way too nice, and everyone just keeps acting way too weird. That's when the first big thing happens that you didn't expect. The groundskeeper, a guy named Walter, who's, well, let's just say he's acting strange. Like, when someone's a little too happy for their own good? Yeah, that's Walter. And what does he do? Well, he runs around like he's been programmed to behave a certain way, with the kind of robotic enthusiasm that just makes you want to scream. "Bro, what is going on?" But wait, that's just the start. The real kicker happens when Chris gets invited to a dinner party. Sounds innocent enough, right? But this party? Oh, this is where it gets real crazy. The guests? All super white. The conversation? Well, let's just say it's full of microaggressions that are so awkward you could cut the tension with a knife. These people have no idea how out of touch they are. It's the kind of party where you get asked the dumbest questions like, "How long have you been dating Rose?" Followed by, "Is it hard to be the only black guy at a party like this?" And you're just sitting there thinking, am I in Twilight Zone? But Chris, ever the nice guy, takes it all in stride. Can you imagine? Not flipping the table over and running for your life? What a guy. I would have been gone after the first awkward question. And then the night takes an even darker turn. Because nothing is as it seems. Just when Chris thinks he's getting out of there with his sanity intact, things get seriously messed up. You know that one moment where everything finally clicks in a horror movie and you go, I knew it. Yeah, it happens in this movie. Let's just say, the secret behind all the weirdness? It's worse than you could imagine. It's not just that the family's a little too interested in Chris. No, it's far, far worse. Because here's the twist. This family isn't just hunting Chris. They're literally using him and every other black person they can get their hands on for a sickeningly twisted purpose. Like, imagine being told you're part of a science experiment that takes the term body swap to a whole new level. Now you're probably thinking, hold up, I need to take a second to digest that. Yeah, I felt the same way. But here's the thing. This isn't your typical horror movie where you just get the bad guys are evil wrap up. No. This movie is about power, manipulation, and the kind of evil that hides under a smile. It's about making you realize that sometimes the most dangerous thing is what's hiding behind a polite conversation. Can you imagine being trapped in a situation where your life literally depends on staying calm and pretending everything is normal? Chris, yeah, he does exactly that for a while. And trust me, when you see what happens next, you'll be jumping out of your seat. But don't think for a second that Chris doesn't fight back. Oh, he does. The second he figures out what's going on, it's game on. Because in the end, Get Out isn't just a movie about the supernatural. It's a movie about survival, wit, and strength. You get the feeling that Chris is like, you've messed with the wrong guy, buddy, and then the movie turns into one of the best revenge plots you've ever seen. It's fast, it's brutal, And it's incredibly satisfying when Chris finally decides, enough of this nonsense. If you've ever wondered what you would do if you found yourself in a crazy situation with people who don't just want to screw with your mind, but actually want to use you for their own purposes, Get Out is a nightmare you need to experience. Trust me, the ending will have you thinking about every awkward family dinner you've ever attended. After you watch this movie, you won't just question your family's weird habits. You'll be side-eyeing everyone. So, yeah, can you believe this movie? And why didn't anyone tell us that horror movies could really make us think about the world in a way we didn't expect? Get Out is a perfect storm of suspense, social commentary, and just pure terror. So next time someone invites you to a family weekend getaway, maybe think twice.